It's crazy because I'm only recording because I wanted to start a podcast. That's how I've been looking at it lately. It's starting a podcast specifically for the journey and share everybody get to see me come up from the bottom. That's how I look at it. The only thing about it is getting started. I'm starting to see like different things that what's the best way to put it? You get to notice all the things that can go wrong, not only things that can go wrong. You get to notice all the just basically all the problems up front. But it all depends on what what you focus on. That's how I look at it. So like right now, for example, is I don't see no feedback coming instantly from the comment section or anything what it is. So it's hard to pick a topic and just run with it. But that's where I'm at with it right now. So let me tell you something, for example. I just think of different ideas for books. I got all these. I got this book that I'm gonna drop when I'm 30, and each chapter is a book itself. So that's what the name of it is so far. But I ain't gonna keep that name. So I'm writing. I got this other paper for just list of name of books. And I got this one book that I'm working on. Then that's an army book that I'm working on. So just different creative ideas. And then I got this book that I'm working on, and this is just how I start, just a regular piece of paper. But it's the idea that holds itself to last longer, you know? Like it's all documented. That's the best way I could put it. To where as long as I write it down, I can always pull it back up in the future to look at it tangibly. So like you could read this one, for example, Penthouse View. I spent my whole life chasing success. Look at all of those beautiful lights covering the city, and Mateo was holding his vision board in his left hand. But the whole concept of this is it's having a dream and being able to actually bringing it to reality. So that means having the vision boards. That means like just having your goals up front and you seeing them daily, but also later down the line in the future, having the ability to bring it to reality. So that's kind of what this book is going to be about. And it's just another story about our upbringing, basically. But it goes from seeing it on the vision board to actually checking it off the vision board. How many goals can you check off your vision board when you make it? All of them. The hardest part is to get to the first million. And then the second hardest part is the past it, you know? You got to keep evolving. You can't stop. If you stop, what was the whole point of your journey? All right, so let me see. This is just a blanket I ordered too. Talking about vision boards. Got the pyramids. That's where I want to go. I turned the blanket into a vision board. The cities, the same thing I'm just telling you right now. Literally. Imagine going to a penthouse and seeing the views. That's what this is. And I forgot what city this was, but it's a penthouse view. And it's just something different, you know? I got the Lamborghini Huracan right there, just money. Then I got the watch right here. I ain't seen nobody make a blanket like this, but it's all good. It was just an idea, just being the innovator. All right, so, and I only got these watches right here because these are my dad watches. So no matter what it's worth, one could literally be $20, one could be $1,000. I don't care what it is. If it's a piece to even an ancestor or anybody. Like my grandpa gave me this ring, and the thought of having it is everything, you know. He's still here, but when the time comes and anything happens, I always got that to hold on to. So it's like the memory attached to it, you could say, to where I know I'm gonna have a collection like this of the watches that I want, and as soon as I make it far enough in the journey, they'll all go to my son. Like everything is all passed down. But the best thing to pass down is the knowledge and the format and the systems that you build throughout your life. The systems is what's the best way to this is the best way to explain a system. My goal was 2,000 books. My original goal was 1,000 books this year. Then it turned into 2,000. And I said if I make it 2,000, I'll fall short to 1,000. But right now I'm only at, let me see, I'm only at like 500 books. So we're in November, somewhere around like 11th right now. But what am I doing right here? Why am I showing you all this? It's documenting where I am and where I'm at in the journey. That's the beauty of it. The beauty of the journey is having it documented because you could tell the stories, people can see it in their mind, but if you got the physical video to show how it was before you make it, I think that's in a sense almost better than gold because you're always pulling inspiration out of that time that you didn't have nothing. So it's never, it might be a, what's the word for it? It might be an outdated version of you, but it's also a version of you that you didn't give up on. Like you had to keep going to realize. I don't know. Maybe I'm maybe I'm just talking, but I don't know if anybody even know what I'm talking about. It's the journey though. That's the whole point of it. Like having all these books around. Like all these books are real old. Well, except for these ones. I didn't read these one yet, but I will get to them. Just having all these books around. I want to get to the point where, well, all of these books, the reason why I've written it down is so I could buy them when I get my money. So when I get my money, I plan on buying like, hopefully somewhere around like, not hopefully, I'm gonna do it. Like around 5,000 books is what I'm gonna be buying. So imagine me reading all these books right now, which I did. And later in the future, when I do obtain my success, I'll be able to just buy 5,000 physical copies of books. And they all come like this. It'll be all like these regular books. So and with that, I would have, hopefully it don't stop the video. Let's see. So crazy, I'm using a cologne as my stand because my main thing was get started. That's like the best thing for me is get started because you never know who you're inspiring. Like and you never know what's, all right, so when I get these books physically, later down in the future, when it comes time, when I finally reach my success, I will have a library in the back of me. So all of these, what you see right now, it will all be, my library will be behind me. So that'll be nothing but hundreds and hundreds of books just surrounding me. This whole wall will be filled, and all the walls up in my office will be filled. So it's, I don't know, it's planning ahead in a sense you could say. Not planning so far to where you're kind of delusional with it, but planning far enough to where you're just, it's like a dream you could say. You're just stuck up in a dream, just not giving up. That's what it all comes down to where I'm not giving up. I don't care how long it takes. So it could take me 10 years. It could take me 20 years to get my success. And even though everybody's success is different, my success foundation will start at $1 million. That's how I look at it. That would be the beginning of it. And then it goes up from there. It goes up to the dream house you're planning or whatever it is. You're able to build, once you gain the success, you're able to build up on top of it with your ideas. So it'll be easier to bring it to reality, really. Like imagine you having $100,000 just to hook up one of your rooms in your house. How would you go about it? But the blueprint always have to be set first for you to really expand your creativity more, you could say. So I study a lot of people right now. I study Les Brown, Eamon, who else? Zig Ziglar, everybody, Grant Cardone, Bradley, who else? Bob Proctor. Man, so many people right now. It's crazy, but that's what it is. You always gotta be feeding your mind daily. Like that's all I do. Self development. I'm studying. I got my even right now while I'm recording this, I got my phone on airplane mode. When it's not on airplane mode, it's on D&D, but that's not even enough because the distractions just flood in naturally. So it's what you do to stay focused, and what are you willing to sacrifice to stay focused? That's another big key to it that I'm starting to notice is the tunnel vision, monk mode. So monk mode is one thing that I learned from Eamon. What's one thing I learned from Bradley? Bradley, I learned the authentic. Authentic. That's what I learned from Bradley. Bob Proctor, what did I learn from him? I learned that. What did I learn from Bob Proctor? Let me see. I don't know. So many. I listened to close to about 100 other videos each, or maybe even 200. So one thing I'll give y'all is this gem, The Alchemist. If you haven't read that, you gotta go read that. This is anybody that loves the dream. This is the best book right here. I don't even know how much this camera can see basically from the side. Like I don't know how far you are able to see. So I got this other book called I got the compound effect. So this is all your actions. Everything you do adds up. And what was the studies? I believe. No, I can't. It gotta be a fact instead of guessing. So anyway, basically most of what we do, most of our daily actions is out of habits, basically. But the compound effect is just shows like pay attention to what you're doing because a lot of what you're doing is the action you're taking is becoming the result of your life, in a sense. Got allergies. It's all good though. Think and Grow Rich. That's legendary. That's another book. Can't Hurt Me. David Goggins. Discipline. That's real good. Here, let me grab some more. It feels good to record this though and really show yourself stepping out on different ideas you got. This is real good. As a Man Thinketh. Tuesdays with Maury. That's real good. It's another one. This is real good. This is probably the second book. If you can, pick this book up because it teaches you about leadership, and not only leadership, it teaches you how to really have self-discipline. The Archer, some other books. The Hard Way. Let me see. How to Win Friends, Influence People. Got many books over here. Got the Bible. Got everything. But the systems, that's what I'm building right now. That's what I'm working on. So all good businesses are built upon good systems. That's what you need to build the foundation of something that can last, you could say. So let me show y'all something else. These are one of the bracelets. I wasn't even gonna show y'all this. I just picked it up. So this is one of the bracelets that I made. AI all in. It just different ideas. If I got an idea, I try to make it to where I could pull my thoughts into reality. That's the best way I could explain it. So I got this other thing right here. This is what I originally got to show y'all. So I got this. This is another. So this is a system right here that I showed y'all earlier. This is writing down all the books that I read this year, so I can make sure not only it's mainly for me to get the physical copies because all of these books are Audible. They're all Audible is an app for books that you could read, and you could read books faster. So all of these I listen to, and I write it down so I can make sure when I get my money, I will buy the physical copies. So I turn from listening to it to this. It's easier. It's faster, you could say. Because this book, let's say all of these books, these will probably take, if you read it physically, it will be, it'll take you a long time. But if you listen to them physically, I'll be able to read these books in less than 2 weeks. So it's just like a time machine for learning. So this is another notebook that I got from my books. So let me know how many books did I read this week. So it's keeping track of them. Not to the details of this, to where I gotta write down the author names and all that. This is just this whole purpose is just to track how many books I read a week. So I could scale it, you know. Let me see. Try not to end it. So what's another thing? Something else I could show y'all at the bottom. Got the food stacked up. Just writing down different things you could say. Really, really trying to document everything. That's documented to where it's not showing too much, but it's showing enough to where y'all get to see the inside of how I operate. You could say. So let me see. I'm trying to think of somebody in the self development space that I could just throw different gems out there, like podcasts to listen to, books to listen to. Books, I would say About Face. What's I would say Living with the Seals by Jesse Itzler. Who else? It's Man, so many books. Right here, I read this list and I will basically name off the good books names. Rich Dad Poor Dad, Richard Man of Babylon, Ethic 1 all the way to 6. That's a series. And then from that series, you will find many more. Then you got Midnight 1, 2, 3 by Sister Soldier. That's one of the best series right there. The Fourth Agreement, that's a classic. What else? The Magic of Thinking Big. Let's see. Your Wish is Your Command, the 5 a.m. Club. Let me see. Breaking the Habits of Being Yourself, that's real good. And let me give you one more good one. So I don't want to just get the name of 300 books on here. It's just gotta waste your time. Really. What's another book just off the top of your head that if you can name 3 books to give to the world? If you can name 3 books to leave behind to your people, what would it be? Outside of the ones that you already named. This is just how I talk to myself, just to get thinking. So, did I say About Face? About Face, About Face. Did I say that? No, let me see. Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. McConaughey, I think that's how you say that. So yeah, so Green Lights, that would be one. Let me see. I want to put The Power of One More by Ed Milet up in there, but definitely Green Lights. Let me see. Just because you read a lot of books don't mean they're all good too. That's another thing. I read all these books, so when it comes time for me to recommend books like right now, I could give you the best of the best. I I'll go through 100 books and I'll probably only really like 10, 10 I remember out of the 100. So just like, what did you eat 320 days ago? What did you eat 320 days ago? Is in the same field as asking somebody, what did this book mean? Is as far as remembering. So you remember your best foods and not the worst ones, you could say. But that's how I look at the books. I look at the books like you go through 100, you learn 10. 10 will stick with you, and then go from there. That's one thing I don't do is reread books though. I'm not doing that yet. Another good millionaire to listen to is Wesley $1,000,000 Virgins on Instagram at midnight. He go live every night, and you can ask him any question that you want to ask him. That's a good millionaire right there. To where any question you got, you get to ask a millionaire. Elon Musk, that's a good book by Walter Isaacson. That's a good book. Yeah, so anything by Zig Ziglar or Bob Proctor or Les Brown, those are all moguls. Oh yeah, this is another thing I got. Let me see. So it's at 22:25. I got like 7 minutes left before I run out of storage on my phone. All right, so study millionaires. So if a millionaire come across my phone news feed, I will write down the name, or if I listen to a video and I like how somebody is delivering their message, I will write them down. But mainly all of these I either read about them or I listened to one of the videos. So Les Brown, all of them. These are moguls. Anybody that's in the self-development space, these are definitely moguls. So these are all up on YouTube. And just a list of different things to study. I never run out of material to study. That's one thing that I learned to not do. So all of these. Yeah, so that's another system right there. Maybe y'all seen this before, maybe y'all haven't. Maybe I'm inspiring some people. Maybe some people already clicked off. I only care for the ones that I'm helping. That's how I'm looking at it. Can't care what everybody thinks because everybody don't care about you. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm trying to think of a couple more gems to leave with y'all. That's my main thing, is to document this, and I'm not the millionaire yet, but I will get there. Yeah. How do I know I'm gonna get there? It comes a point where you're chasing your dreams and they gotta come true. If they don't come true, you just it's the worst existence to have a dream and not being able to make it come to reality. Cause that dream will always haunt you, you could say. So that's how I know. It's because my why is bigger than my how. I don't care how to do it, as long as I know why I'm doing it. That means if it's kind of having a chip on your shoulder, but for the good reasons. And like my why right now is retiring my parents. So I don't care what I got to do. I'm gonna retire them, but it's gonna be ethical and there's gonna be morals to it, I won't sell out. That's why it's taking longer to reach. Sometimes it takes longer to reach your potential if you're not selling out who you are, and who you are is always evolving. If you know who you are, you're not evolving enough. That's I'm always recreating myself every day to where who I am right now in this video. There's a version of me that's already the millionaire in 10 years, and he might not even though he documented the journey, even though I documented the journey, the future me might not even watch it because it's you evolve so much to where your old memories they're cringe. They're all cringe because you evolve so much. Now that's now imagine evolving every day, every week. You're gonna be like, damn, I could have did this better, or I could have. It always you should always have that battle with yourself to improve. Never stay stagnant. So what's another thing I can show y'all? Let's see. I think I covered all the basics, and I showed the beginning of the systems, you could say, and I started this, so that's real good. That's really what I'm proud of. Is I'm just coming off the top of my head and I'm doing something that I love, and you go from watching people to creating your own content, and I think that's a beautiful thing because I always want to have my own material. I always been that way, to where if I'm not recording videos like this, I always got music I'm dropping. But it gets to the point where I want to build a community off of something like this and keep it real all the way through. And I think that's the beauty of life is creating something that you can be proud of and not being discouraged to. You gotta have that commitment with yourself to build that creation, you could say. You gotta be committed, you gotta be disciplined, you gotta be able to dream sometimes. If not, reality, it shows up every day. It'll make sure that you see it. That's one thing about reality. You will see it because if you don't make your dream, reality will always haunt you. Now let it be there. Thank you for watching.